seeing this too? That's the question of the day.
And this is yeah, it's pretty intense, or rather stupid is
Ah,
my wording
there's
for it.
yeah, there's a lot of answers to that question. Are you seeing this too? We could say a lot of things. We're gonna say Ticketmaster. Are you seeing Ticketmaster?
Oh yeah, that's some interesting news, especially as well established as they are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a
So
company that, I guess people have loved to hate or hated to love or hated to hate, or it's, if you go to shows and you buy a ticket, you're gonna deal with Ticketmaster. They have it, at least stateside, 80% of the market's my understanding. So there's no real way around them. There was a pushback starting in I want to say Pearl Jam was one of the first to push back and say, we're going to do our own ticketing system and we're going around that. And you don't need a monopoly on it. But Taylor Swift's Eras tour and all those, like, you'd have to go Ticketmaster, Live Nation, like the conglomerate. So what allegedly they're finding is that there's been double or triple dipping on the same ticket. And they've been allegedly complicit in that type of thing. And word's out. Are you seeing it?
I have. I mean, I think it is interesting from a few different perspectives, right? One is they haven't yet commented on it. And look, I get it, you have that initial period where you're like, all right, let's fall back, let's touch base on what's going on. But since they, if you've been doing it, then you know that you've been doing
Mm,
it, right? Like, have some plan of action in terms of how you're actually going to come back to this, because a rebrand is not going to save them from this.
no, no, a new minimalist ticket with a different style T. If they came out in the market with that and said we're gentler now, that's not gonna pull them out of this, right?
I mean, even if, say, for example, they do like a proper rebrand, like where it's like, hey, let's change the name, change the logo, change,
They're
the way
not
that
they're
we
not changing
work,
their
etc.
name.
But say they do
If
that,
they
right?
do,
Like,
sure,
if
okay.
they're
We'll
like,
take it to the extreme. Okay.
we give up at this point, given how active and how trust positive, like, Gen Z, Gen Alpha are, is going to be digging down, and they're going to be like, oh, they used to be Ticketmaster. They used to do this um, kind of behavior, and
Mhm.
that news will get out. So
Yeah.
they've done
Nah.
themselves dirty.
I don't see a rebrand, but part of what we're seeing this reckoning, like this fee transparency thing, where you see with Airbnb and you see with Ticketmaster and hotel booking sites, and where you get those little checkout fees, those little, like, you thought you knew your dollar price, but here's another $22, and here's a convenience fee and a facilities fee and all that. And then by the time your nice $35 ticket or whatever they are now, $85 tickets now $220 by the time it gets, like, these incremental things just bombard you. So now there's been this consumer protection stuff about fee transparencies, and the price you see is the price you pay. And I think what we're seeing with the Ticketmaster situation is part of that reckoning of, like, wait a minute, we did a little digging into your fee system and we did a little digging into your practices, and
Mhm.
allegedly you've been going around your own policies and letting resellers come in and make some, get in on that side of the deal, and then they sell it back and you get in on that side of the deal twice. And it's customers have to have some say in this matter. Like, where, the Ticketmaster or any business, you have a large enough customer base, they gotta start being vocal about this.
I mean, they're opening the gap for someone else for another business to come in.
Yeah.
And, we look at Ticketmaster, they're not actually standing for anything. They're just filling a certain need, right?
Right.
So if another business comes in, they fill that need, but they do it in a way that connects, that that's like, it's very transparent. You
Yeah.
know who's behind it. You involved with the team. You know what their values are. You have an association in your head to something. People are gonna shift immediately.
Yeah. True. I agree. And it could be a startup. Doesn't have to be though. If Google or Apple or Amazon wanted to get into the ticketing business, they probably could do that pretty quick.
I mean, it's interesting why they haven't yet.
Yeah.
I mean, there must be something behind it. Okay, maybe Ticketmaster, they hold a monopoly
Yeah.
on the market. So perhaps it's more of like the guerrilla marketing sort of techniques that are needed to really gain back that audience,
Yeah.
to bring out for those values.
But why do you think Gen Z or Gen Alpha haven't come up with another solution or you know, uh, found another merchant or another app that's just sleeker and faster and less fees and all, like why haven't they shifted their loyalty over somewhere else where it's become the new standard? Why are we putting up with an 80% monopoly on ticket sales?
I think it's loading. I think it's loading. I see a lot of people starting small versions of like different kinds of groups. And maybe it is moving to more of like select, these kinds of events is
Hmm.
one kind of provider. These kinds of events is another kind of provider. And maybe that's what will be more successful. But again, like if you think about Ticketmaster, they're the one-stop solution.
Right.
So maybe it is more of like a matter of time for someone to come in with a different sort of positioning to Ticketmaster.
Yeah. And do you think this is it? This is the moment? Did it create that market
Hell
opportunity?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Hell
Okay.
yeah. Like the easiest point right now
Hmm.
is doubling down on that clarity. Like you can see everything what's going on in our business. In fact, you can even see like how we are living like our day to day, get those behind the scenes, living into like the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, like super being in the office, talking about like what's going on, what are they doing.
Yeah.
They're leaving the door wide open for that.
Hmm.
And how do you think that, people who are in B2B or even service-based businesses, what they can learn from a marketing perspective on this one?
No, that's a really good question. I think on a broad sense, they can learn that there's got to be some kind of self-policing or self-restraint involved. So even if you find a way to capitalize on your customers and sell and resell the same product or same service a number of different ways, maybe don't do that. Because it might catch up with you. Um, if you're ma
Baby.
well, and more power to them. If you make money off the original sale and the seller and the buyer of a resale, like, they had a pretty good thing going, but if you're running a company and you're in a competitive space and you're a B2B, um, be transparent with your customers because a lot of times they're not gonna put up with those little, like, incidental fees or convenience fees and, "Oh, we have a maintenance plan," or, "Oh, you wanted support. Here, it's gonna cost you 3 times more than the hourly that we did for your setup. You didn't know that." It's learning
Mhm.
from this type of thing, like that transparency in your processes and your pricing structure and what to expect. Companies that communicate that really well are gonna have a smoother ride once their clients cross the threshold.
I mean, I've seen this as well in real estate, where the company that we were working with, like, they were the only ones that didn't charge both the landlord and the tenant. So, like, a lot of people, all the tenants and potential renters, everything, they're like, oh, I heard about this company. They're taking rent from both the landlord and the tenant.
Yeah,
And news like that spreads. Like
yeah,
social media, where we're all the more connected now. So I mean, doing something stupid like that, it's only a matter of time before it comes back and bites you.
Yeah.
Word of mouth or someone else. And from a brand perspective, the way that I see that this applies for B2Bs is have a look and make sure that your values are clearly shown in all of your actions.
Mm.
So, say for example, you have a particular stance, make sure that whatever your actions they reflect, be it with your team, be it with your service, be it in your marketing, everywhere. It should be consistent.
Yeah.
And that's going to save you a lot of headache.
Definitely. Well, and if this did, like you said it pretty confidently, if this did create a market opportunity for a new entrant or someone else to come in, I think we would see a lot of that off the bat. We would see a lot of that transparency and a lot of that, we love live events. That's why we started this company, or that's why we shifted to this initiative. We are one of you. We did this, we did it for ourselves, and now you're invited into our you get the same benefits that we do, as opposed to it's very transactional. We want to sell you something. We're going to fees here and there. And I think, if it created a market opportunity and a brand opportunity to come in, it would be a very friendly brand, very, very friendly. We're one of you, you're one of us, join our tribe, as opposed to we are a ticket broker, we sell you tickets, and and I'll still use Ticketmaster as long as they're around. I have to, right? Don't cancel my tickets, I have shows coming out. But I think I like your confidence on this, that someone else is going to see this and say, we do business better and we can do this.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a massive potential, especially getting people involved and being fully there.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
We'll see. And maybe they'll be cleared of wrongdoing. Like, we don't know. This thing has to go through whatever channels it goes through. We don't know the semantics of the law and but we just know it's not a good look.
It is interesting for a business to come in and stop everyone just having their phones up during events.
Yeah.
It's like a phones in pockets or no phones kind of events, because I think that is something that's ruining being present in a lot of events. And I know I'm taking a tangent here, but those are things that people care about, being present, having those values. And another thing is stepping away from the financial growth or the investors' opinions affecting the business, because we see it all of the time. A company starts and they're like, yes, we want to keep this free, or we want to keep this low cost. But then later on, investors join, and then there's that certain kind of demand of like, hey, we need to increase our prices, or we need to do something to meet this demand to increase our profit.
Right.
If you're letting those things affect, then the same thing is going to happen, just maybe not as nasty as what's going to be the case for Ticketmaster.
Yeah. So what you're saying is do right by your customers. Don't double and triple dip.
Don't be stupid.
If you actually do go to a show or a live experience through Ticketmaster or elsewhere, put your phone away and live in the moment. And then we're all a little better off, right?
Exactly. And be present. And you know what? I'm gonna stay tuned and see. I'm gonna watch out for this company that's gonna come up and shake up Ticketmaster's space, because this is the perfect time. So if somebody's listening and you've got that idea, let's go. Let's make this happen.
All right. Well, keep watching for more things, more companies. We'll do this again. We gotta, someone's got to be watching, and we'll ask again. Are you seeing this too?
and calling out on any bullshit. And guys, if you have any company news that comes up that you see that you want us to tackle, shoot us a message, drop a comment down here in the messages, and you'll catch us next week.
All right. See you, Beatrice.